Pay attention to the woman who is walking toward the crosswalk. Her name is Grace Monroe, 23 years old. Grace walks out of the front entrance of a downtown hostel at 5:41 p.m., heading toward the city center to meet a man she connected with on a dating app. His name is Kyle Benton, 27 years old. The footage later shows both of them walking into a nearby bar and sitting together while ordering drinks. After a short stay, they leave and move to a restaurant located a few blocks away, remaining there for part of the evening before continuing their night. As the hours pass, Grace and Kyle leave the restaurant and make their way toward a hotel in the downtown district. Entering through the main doors, Grace never imagined she was walking into the final night of her life. March 6th, 2020, Portland, Oregon, 7:58 a.m. The woman is identified as Grace Taylor Monroe, 23, a recent college graduate traveling alone on a long-planned trip. Relatives describe frequent messages, photos, and daily updates from her since the trip began. The man is identified as Kyle Andrew Benton, 27, staying at the hotel as a long-term guest with no fixed local address. Grace grew up in Toledo, Ohio, where she completed a marketing degree from Bowling Green State University. According to family, she planned a full travel experience across several states, staying in hostels and budget housing. She kept consistent contact with her parents and older brother by texting photos, short updates, and brief phone calls. This level of communication was described as normal for her, especially when traveling alone. Kyle Benton lived in various temporary rentals across the Pacific Northwest. Records show periods of unemployment, frequent address changes, and short-term work that did not match the high-status occupations listed on his online dating profile. Former coworkers stated that Kyle often described achievements and past employment roles that could not be verified. According to landlord records, he left multiple rentals with unpaid fees and no forwarding contact information. On the afternoon of March the 6th, Grace left her hostel prepared for what she believed would be a casual evening. She exchanged several short messages with friends before leaving, indicating excitement about meeting someone in a new city. She did not express worry or hesitation. Investigators later confirmed that she accessed the dating app to confirm details shortly before walking toward the crosswalk that appears in the footage. Grace and Kyle visited two locations before heading toward the hotel where Kyle was staying. Investigators determined that the evening remained calm, with no apparent signs of conflict reported by the staff at either establishment they visited. No employees reported hearing arguments or seeing behavior considered disruptive. Everything suggested that the night proceeded normally from an outside perspective. The next morning, Grace did not respond to any messages. Her family, located in Ohio, attempted multiple calls and texts. Her phone remained active on the network, but did not show typing indicators, message openings, or location check-ins. The hostel confirmed she did not return for the night. Her bed was untouched, and none of her personal belongings were taken from the shared room storage lockers. On March 7th, footage shows Kyle leaving the hotel alone early in the morning. The first log of card usage linked to Grace's debit card was recorded shortly after charges were made at a large retail store near the downtown district. Investigators later obtained the surveillance footage from that location. At the store, Kyle selected a large suitcase from the luggage aisle and placed it in a shopping cart. He proceeded to the cleaning supplies aisle, where he selected disinfectant wipes, gloves, and odor control products. He made the final purchase using Grace's bank card. Shortly before noon, Kyle traveled to a car rental business near the east side of the city. He provided his personal identification and signed for a compact sedan. An employee later stated that Kyle appeared quiet and straightforward, with nothing unusual about his behavior. After receiving the keys, Kyle drove the vehicle back toward the downtown hotel. Investigators learned that Kyle had arranged another dating app meeting. For that same evening, digital history confirmed that he sent messages to another woman after purchasing the suitcase. The meeting took place at a bar not far from the original locations the night before. The woman later reported that Kyle made a concerning comment related to burial locations in remote areas. She described the comment as unsettling, stating that she left the bar as soon as she felt uncomfortable. She independently arranged transportation home and did not interact further with Kyle. At the hotel, staff noticed Kyle transporting cleanup equipment to his room. They reported seeing him bring in a rented carpet machine that evening. When asked by a member of staff, he explained that he spilled red wine inside the room and needed to avoid a damage fee. Staff did not escalate the matter because the explanation seemed reasonable and the hotel allowed equipment rentals for private cleaning. Later that night, Kyle brought multiple bags and the large suitcase from the room to the rented vehicle. Footage displays the items loaded into the trunk area. The vehicle exited the underground garage without any reported incident. No concerning activity was reported by employees at that time. Grace's family grew increasingly alarmed as hours passed. More than a day without any update was considered highly abnormal. They contacted Portland police to file a missing person report. Due to the consistency of communication between Grace and her family, the report was taken seriously and assigned a priority level appropriate for a young solo traveler with sudden communication loss. Police reviewed public footage and compiled a basic timeline. It showed Grace leaving her hostel, walking with Kyle, entering a bar, entering a restaurant, and finally entering the hotel. There was no footage showing her departure from that location. The initial review indicated that Kyle was the last known person seen with her detectives arrived at the hotel on March 10th. They approached the front desk to request guest information. Kyle entered the lobby. During that interaction, officers stated that Kyle attempted to walk away quickly when he noticed law enforcement, prompting detectives to stop him for a voluntary conversation. Kyle stated that he and Grace went out for drinks, then separated and ended the night in different locations. He denied that she entered his room. He claimed he did not know where she went afterward. With no body recovered at that moment, he was released pending further investigation. Evidence collection teams conducted a forensic search of the hotel room. Chemical detection identified blood traces on the floor, which matched Grace's DNA. The pattern and location suggested attempts to clean the area. Investigators then secured a warrant for digital activity and online behavior captured through the hotel Wi-Fi network. Records showed that Kyle searched topics related to disposal methods and remote terrain areas during the hours following the disappearance timeline. He also accessed explicit content websites shortly after these searches. Digital examiners reviewed the location history from the rental vehicle's GPS. The route indicated travel toward a remote forested region near Mount Hood National Forest. The timeline matched the period between the suitcase purchase and the vehicle return. A shallow burial site was later located near a wooded roadside turnout. Law enforcement recovered Grace's remains inside the suitcase. The medical examiner determined that the cause of death, it was strangulation with pressure lasting several minutes. There were no indications of accidental loss of consciousness or sudden collapse. Kyle was arrested on March 11th for further questioning. During the interview, he changed his account, stating that an intimate act resulted in unintended harm. He stated that he panicked afterward. The evidence, including the purchase of disposal materials, internet searches, and concealed location travel, contradicted this explanation. The case was forwarded to the district attorney's office for prosecution. A trial began in February 2021. The prosecution presented the full timeline, forensic evidence, digital data, and witness statements. They asserted that Kyle intended to conceal the incident rather than call for emergency assistance. The defense argued accidental harm without intent. The jury deliberated for several hours before returning a guilty verdict for murder. Kyle Benton received a life sentence with a minimum parole eligibility period of 18 years. the case concluded with confirmation of identity, recovery of remains, and return to Grace's family for burial. Law enforcement closed the investigation with no further suspects or involved individuals. The story remains an example of how digital interaction, temporary residence, and rapid trust formation can intersect with individuals whose backgrounds differ significantly from their presented identities. The timeline, location data, and forensic results formed the foundation for the resolution of the case. The events from the evening of March 6th through the recovery at Mount Hood National Forest remain documented in official law enforcement records, closing the case with a final timeline supported by physical evidence, digital documentation, and confirmed witness reports. Thanks for watching Undocumented. Every case shown here is inspired by real events, though names, locations, and specific details have been altered or fictionalized for presentation. The message is real. Stay aware. Be careful, subscribe, and hit the like button for more undocumented crimes like this.